Merhaba and welcome back to the Ottoman campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Let's see, we got some spare shipbuilding capacity. Do I have anything I can, like, refit? Not at the moment. I could probably build some more of these, I guess. Almost 60,000 tons of free capacity. I should be able to build 4 more of these. Yeah, that should work. Just quick maths. Yeah. We are good. These I will build in, where should I build them? Singapore, maybe. Gradually adding more modern heavy cruisers to my task forces. So, onwards to 1948. No thank you, Japan, but also Japan keeps throwing up naval invasions. But at least the one in Helgoland, I think that's the one they're trying to invade there. At least that one, I think they have the tonnage for. Alright. Girtep. Last of this class of battlecruiser. The one that the Izmir is based on. Intended as a cruiser killer, so we'll see if it can still kill cruisers now, this many years after it was first launched. And I got a light cruiser with me as well. One of the ones with some guns not working, I think. But Girtep should be operational. And quite recently refit. There we go, heavy cruiser Suffolk has been spotted. .29-kilometer range on those guns. What kind of guns did this guy have? That's the one with the semi-AP super heavy shells. Let's slow down to cruising speed. Now, it should be relatively safe from their guns. They are definitely not safe from mine. Secondaries can target conquest. I think I knocked out their torpedoes. They don't seem to have launched. I know I hit them. Ahmed Pasha is trailing behind a little bit. Conquest is about to enter secondary range. Suffolk is not doing too well. I did 0.7 damage on Gutep. But what are we doing here now, Gutep? You're switching your main gun targeting. That's not allowed. Mehmed Pasha, your torpedo's free. Maybe just have this guy on the thumbnail. I think Suffolk is just about gone. And not sunk yet, but... yeah, angled. She cannot fire back. Gutep needs to maneuver, because there are incoming torpedoes somewhere from Conquest. While Conquest has to dodge my torpedoes. I had Mehmet Pasha maneuver as well, because I first thought those torpedoes were launched at her. Then I noticed now they were targeted at the battlecruiser. Are they electrics? No. Really? Is that just standard torpedoes? They're too slow to be fast torpedoes. I could just check, couldn't I? Yeah, standard. Because it couldn't be electric, because then I'd have like minus a lot torpedo visibility. $322 million price tag. 563 for the heavy cruiser. Let's just put Suffolk out of her suffering. This way. That might be the end of Suffolk. A bit more flooding. And she sinks. Conquest launched torpedoes. And those are quite close as well. Maybe too close for comfort. Now we're good. I don't think I even needed to maneuver that much. Those were very, very slow torpedoes. Just a slight speed reduction might have been enough. Knocked out the rest of their torpedoes. And Conquest goes down. Took a little bit of damage at the end there, but that's not a big deal. Or maybe it is, because now Girtep has to be repaired. And that might put me over the shipbuilding capacity. I'll find out how many repairs I need after the battles are done. 2 more battle cruisers on the opposite side of the power scale. The brand new Büyük Agri 2 class. There's 2 heavy French cruisers and 1 destroyer. Alright, enemy has been spotted. Now, Girikul and Madra, both quite low on ammunition, and I just remembered, oh yeah, that's right. In the previous episode, these got dragged into a convoy battle before I could send them out of port. And because I wanted to send them out of port, I needed to keep them completely intact, structure 100%. If they had taken even as much as a scratch, they would have gotten auto-repaired. Even if for just a month. But that would mean I couldn't send them anywhere, which is what I wanted to do. So that's why they played that battle at very long range, emptying out almost all of their ammunition. So that's why they're low on ammo. And resupplying, of course, in this game takes a very long time. Now this time they are already at sea. If I take a little bit of damage, it's not a big deal. They're not going to get auto-repaired until I actually send them to port. Or they take like really crippling damage. So, this time we are going to get a little bit closer. No, heavy cruiser is your target. Put the secondaries to hard if it gets close enough. These have electric torpedoes. Those are oxygen torpedoes, which we are basically in range of already. Scoring hits on the cruisers though. Pretty decent hits as well, knocked out main towers on both enemy cruisers. Actually set main guns to, well, it's too late, she launched now. And she ran out of torpedoes. I'm just going to turn around. My secondaries are doing a good job dealing with that destroyer. Surrendered, actually. How many secondaries do I carry on these? Quite a few is the answer. Alright, one light cruiser worth of secondaries on either side. Duplex almost sunk. Pei-ho also not doing too hot. What kind of torpedoes would those be? 22-inch. Yeah, those, they could hurt. I don't think they'd totally wreck my battlecruisers unless I took like, multiple, but duplex sinks. Hey ho. Last enemy standing or floating. I guess Gepard will remain floating, seeing as she surrendered, but anyway. %, accuracy. That's in total. I have to check in the post game stats what the accuracy of the 16s are. I think they'd like be quite accurate. Main gun accuracy 58 and 53%. Yeah, that's pretty good. And one destroyer here. The French are starting to pump out ships in the Mediterranean. They can't go anywhere because I control both entrances. But as long as they have ports here, I can't really completely keep them from building ships here. I have a leak. Good old heavy cruiser should be able to take on a destroyer. Enemy has been spotted. Let's see, where are those launchers mounted? Fore and aft. Ooh, my cruising speed is only 19 knots. Yeah, forget about that. Yeah, this is one of those cruiser classes that could probably do with a refit. That'll bring their secondaries up to Mark 5 as well. First hit. What kind of armor do you have? 1 inch on the main belt. I'm gonna close in a bit. Make sure those HE shells can actually pen. There we go. And there we go. And their main gun is out. Their torpedoes are reloading. This guy is toast. He's a very cheap toast though. I think that's the French equivalent to my my corvette or guard ship hull. That's why it's so cheap. That's why its top speed is less than 30 knots. I think that's the most you can get out of them. But of course, to the AI, a destroyer hull is a destroyer hull. It's uncommon. It has been refit. 1947 refit. Up against 3 destroyers. All of the cheap Bombado class. That it seems the French have been pumping out the last few months. And the enemies have been spotted. It didn't take that long. I didn't sail around for like an eternity before seeing them. But it's nice to pause the recording for that part. And they are in range. I don't actually have that much more HE pen than the Ivoli class. But a little bit more. They have launched their torpedoes. Let's see, main guns on the second. Secondary guns on the first. I'm gonna be maneuvering a little bit. The Sard has now also launched. Sapé. The Sard has 5 torpedoes left ready. Guess she only launched the bow torpedoes. Sapé has launched 5. Huge hits on Hussard, or Hussard. Tea getting raked by secondaries. 5-inch guns being quite effective with AP. Hazard goes down. It has launched again. There are the torpedoes. Tail goes down. And their last 2 torpedoes are on reload. And they surrender. Good. No torpedoes eaten this time. Only 1 crew loss. And some scratched paint. That's good. Let's see. Despite all that paint being scratched, I'm not over capacity. It seems some ships have completed construction. I've actually got 100,000 tons of free capacity. I'm losing a lot of transports all over the place. Taking French Guiana. Taking Liaodong Peninsula. Britain is trying to take back Western Denmark. Empire of Japan is trying to take Helgoland, and they're going to take this. They're never going to take Western Germany. But Helgoland, they are going to take. Good for them. Meanwhile, I am taking British Columbia. And I've taken French Guiana. Anything else like of value here? Costa Rica, quite valuable. Let's see. I'm gonna move my ships around a little bit. What do I want to invade now? Eastern Sweden. I am invading Eastern Sweden, of course. Yeah, that's right, because the invasion circle is here. Never mind. Northern Norway. Perhaps. These being repaired again. Des Moines is mothballed. Yeah, that's where my free capacity came from. The American battleships. Have finished refitting. Where are they? Here. So this is... last time I did this, it worked. They're not actually... Like, I didn't mothball them. The game just set them that way. If you set them to low crew first, then full crew, you don't have to go through the commissioning phase. So that still works. Des Moines up there. Palermo, you are here. Laboon. You're gonna get to fight a French heavy cruiser. One-on-one. Des Moines can get some support from these guys. Right. Now over here. Anything left that I can take from my enemies? Not really. Not after the US exited the war. But let's see, can I Northern Norway? Do I have tonnage there? I don't. So for once, I will use my politics action, not to launch an invasion, but to increase tension with China. There. Just so we can start a short war, and I can invade their one port territory. That should wipe them out of the game. Right. I guess I could also have launched an invasion of Haiti. Whatever. It's fine. I think I'm gonna get a lot of stuff from France as war reparations, so not a big deal. Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to invade something here, like Reunion. We can do that next turn. Admirals getting replaced. Ports getting struck. The usual. One French destroyer up against battlecruisers. I know Britain has battleships again. I wonder when or if they're gonna come out to fight. There you go. In range. Should be capable of knocking this guy out before it enters torpedo range. Only minus 18 for ship size. I thought the ship size modifier was a lot more severe than that. Has that gotten changed in 1.3.3 of DIP? Because I know at the start of the campaign, it was, there we go. Good hit. Anything under 10,000 tons was very, very hard to hit. which, and in the 1890s, anything under 10,000 tons is basically anything. Except some battleships. There we go. Blammoed. Did not get to launch. Ivalik picks on another destroyer, and it seems I got the meetings I wanted. Cruiser versus destroyer, and I assume battleship versus cruiser. So after this one, I guess we're gonna find out if the refit Des Moines is any good. Alright, Ivalik, we've done this before. Let's start with AP, get some flooding going first. Taralius has launched torpedoes. There you go, all their torpedoes have been launched. I can change course. And keep steady. As the guns swing around. They're not even causing any flooding with the overpens. There we go. But we're now close enough to cause flooding with the HE. Plan was to slow it down to make it easier to hit, but I don't think I need to hit it that much. Yeah. Alright, Laboon of the Des Moines class versus Colbert. Let's see how she does. 19.1-inch guns. I think they were like 19.3s when I got the ship. I had to reduce the size just to not be overweight. It's kind of stubby looking. The American quote-unquote Iowa class hulls in this game kind of are, which is a shame because they, in real life, they are very like sleek and beautiful hulls, but in this game they kind of look a bit lumpy. Even at what should be more than their like actual displacement. How far away are you, Colbert? 36 kilometers. Got a 35 kilometer range. 45 caliber barrel length. And we are missing. close to 20 kilometers without taking a single hit. But surely that will change. There we go. Laboon wants to keep firing HE. Okay, she switched on her own. I'm firing a mix of AP and HE. Let's go with AP. Conning tower knocked out. Seems to be the bane of that French cruiser class. What kind of armor are you packing? 3-inch on the third inner belt. Have to get very close to go through that. Main gun destroyed. And torpedoes knocked out. Let's check HE again. They're gonna sink though. Nice. Not like the greatest accuracy, but I don't know if she'll get better with a veteran crew. And our transport losses are not too bad this month. My provocations were ignored. Let's keep those ports locked down. Right now, northern Norway. There we are. 19,000 tons, that's not too bad. Probably start something with HE2. I can do that next turn. What's my relations with China? Minus 61. Yeah, it would be nice just to get that war going and knock them out. Very large guns, Mark 5 18s, done next month. I can even untick that one. And it'll still only be 1 month. But then I'll forget to reselect it, so... Just gonna do that until I got the Mark 520s. Got 74% chance to succeed here. I'll move some more tonnage into that circle once I get closer to finishing. I'm pretty sure I can find some tonnage somewhere. Let's just see what March has in store. There's like one short battle, we can do that before ending the episode. One meeting, one convoy, and a strike. That's it. Kakadagi and one destroyer versus Andromeda and one destroyer. That should be an even fight. The DD is coming in as a reserve, that's what the R means. So it might start far, far, far in the back. It's not that far back, actually. So it could make it into battle before it's all over. Now we got the latest refit installed on this cruiser. So it's fairly up to date. What kind of boat are you? Have I seen this before? This is also one of those, like, Corvette type destroyers. One quintuple 22-inch torpedo launcher, electric torpedoes, 12-kilometer range. A lot of 4.7-inch guns. Alright. And a very, very reasonable price. 20 million. For a DD in almost 1950, that is nothing. Like my DD-40 class is 274 million. And that's not even that much. Now my secondary guns on the cruiser actually outranges those torpedoes on the destroyer. Which is nice. Useful secondaries for a change. Oh no, that's not true. They're often very useful. Cruising speed 28-ish knots. Now this thing is firing semi-AP super heavy shells, so they could hurt a lot if they actually hit somewhere they can penetrate. My secondary guns are certainly doing a lot of work to that poor little destroyer, which can barely be called the destroyer. And there she goes. And there we take some big hits. Let's go. Ah, they're closing in. Am I going to get some torpedoes away on Andromeda? 4008. Would be nice if that would be the case. Unless I'm just gonna run into the enemy torpedoes, of course, but I think we're good. Maybe not, because there's the second spread. Overcorrecting. Took one torpedo, but we certainly landed a bunch of torpedoes on Andromeda. And Andromeda goes down. My destroyer survived. A bit damaged, but not too bad. She can limp out. And Kakadagi can move in and finish off the transports. Now, could I have won a just a straight up 1v1 gunfight with Andromeda? Maybe. But that could also have meant a lot more damage to Kakadagi. Because those super heavy semi-AP shells would do a lot to the extended armor. I got 3.3, 3.4 on the extended belts. Yeah, they can kind of wreck that. Also the superstructure. And the 5-inch turrets. There we go. Nice. Good little convoy win. And this one I think we're just gonna do next time. Karadaj and Yenisei up against some more French cruisers and a destroyer. Looks like we've taken the Dominican Republic. That's pretty neat. We're gonna have to remember to launch an invasion against Haiti as well. Or maybe not. Maybe just let the war with France end and then focus on taking Britain. Because I don't have the tonnage to take southern, western, or northern France with a naval invasion anyway. But I could take more of Britain if I like combine everything. But we'll see next time. Goodbye and take care.